That song you love is on right now, not later, not on a playlist, not something you have to pay for. I mean live, right now. That's called radio. In Seattle, that's called Warm 106.9.
You know that feeling when your dog hears a treat bag from 3 rooms away, but somehow your business is invisible on Google? At SearchHound, your marketing companion, we help businesses get found online, so customers don't have to go digging. From SEO to Google business profiles to showing up in AI search results, we help the right people find you right when they're looking. So whether you own a business or you know someone who could use more leads, point them in the right direction. Visit searchhoundseo.com and let's get your business on the set.
And love has many faces. See it in the eyes that look right into your soul. Love has many faces. Proud and humble, beautiful and plain, and young and old.
Well, hello and welcome to another conversation here on Love Has Many Faces. You're listening to Alternative Talk 1150, and I am your host, Marilyn Milano. And so today we are going to be talking with an organization we haven't talked with in a little while. And we are going to be having a discussion with Dawn Ford from Old Dog Haven, which was founded back in 2004 to help with placement and care for senior dogs. So we're going to learn more about it, how things are going, what's new. This is a wonderful local organization. And again, it serves a huge need because there are many senior pets where an owner has died, someone doesn't have the finances to take care of them, the family doesn't want them, and they step in and help make things right for these senior dogs that still have so much love to give. So I'm very excited to be brought up to speed again, to learn what's going on with Old Dog Haven and possibly find out about some upcoming events. So please stay with us. Just a quick reminder, our shows are now podcasts. So you can type in Love Has Many Faces podcast in your search bar, and it should take you to this podcast, to the whole Love Has Many Faces group of podcasts, or just look for them wherever you get your podcasts normally. And of course, we're here 9 to 9:30 every Tuesday morning on the radio on Alternative Talk 1150. So just wanted to remind you of that. Anyway, we're going to take a very short pause, and then we will be right back to talk with Dawn Ford from Old Dog Haven. I'm Marilyn Milano, your host of Love Has Many Faces here on Alternative Talk 1150.
You know that feeling when your dog hears a treat bag from 3 rooms away, but somehow your business is invisible on Google? At SearchHound, your marketing companion, we help businesses get found online, so customers don't have to go digging. From SEO to Google business profiles to showing up in AI search results, we help the right people find you right when they're looking. So whether you own a business or you know someone who could use more leads, point them in the right direction. Visit searchhoundseo.com and let's get your business on the set.
This is Martha Norwalk, every Sunday morning beginning at 9 a.m. Thanks in part to Linda Rasmussen at verticalenergyworldwide.com, we cover the world of animals. This week, May 3rd, at Shelter Rescue Sanctuary and anything that helps our Animal Friends Sunday. We'll check in with Meow Cat Rescue, Help Animals India, and Animals24-7.org. Plus, we'll find out about all the upcoming events and classes at the Ananda Institute for Living Yoga. Martha Norwalk's Animal World, Sunday morning, 9 a.m. to noon, right here on Alternative Talk AM 1150.
Bringing good vibes to the Puget Sound and the world. Alternative Talk 1150.
Well, welcome back to Love Has Many Faces. I'm Marilyn Milano here with our guest today, Dawn Ford of Old Dog Haven. Dawn, thank you so much for joining us and taking time today.
Thank you for having me. This is just lovely. I'm excited.
Well, I am too. So, for those that don't remember previous conversations with Old Dog Haven, or maybe it's brand new to them, how about just the general overview for the uninformed listener who might want to know what Old Dog Haven is all about?
Yes, I do find that our mission can be a little confusing. because it's just too good. So Old Dog Haven takes in unadoptable senior dogs from X, Y, and Z, local area shelters, owner surrenders, but primarily local area shelters to the Seattle, Western Washington area. And we place them in Forever Foster Homes. Forever Foster Home is a home that will take in a senior dog, and Old Dog Haven pays all of their expenses for however long that dog lives with them. So if it's 7 years, 7 weeks, 7 months. They cover everything from start to finish. So they receive the utmost care. And as anyone who has taken in a senior dog before would know, that the medical expenses are usually the most inhibiting and the most reason why you might not want to adopt a senior dog, because they are just so full of love and so loving. And we bridge that gap by paying all the medical bills, and all you have to do is provide the love, the warmth, and the home. So it's just completely rewarding. We have been operating since 2004. We have currently just under 300 dogs in our Forever Foster program.
Whoa, that is amazing. And you are right. It is such a win for everyone because, first of all, I mean, the priority is to get these dogs out of shelters and into homes where they can be loved, part of a family, where they can have a nice bed to snuggle, some good treats, some safety, some companionship. And sometimes the owners have died, or the owners can no longer care for the dog, and the family isn't taking care of the dog. They can't or they don't want to. And so people worry of what will happen. And as you mentioned, I have lost 11 dogs in my lifetime. I adopted some in middle age and some as younger dogs, but always when they got old, there were expenses. And I also work with a pet loss support group with Seattle Animal Shelter. And one of the things that we hear from people is, well, I'm older now, or I would love to help out a dog, but I just don't have the budget to do that. And they can't believe it
Yeah.
when we tell them that there is an organization that would love to place a dog in their home and that they will take care of the expenses for them.
My husband and I started fostering initially for Old Dog Haven 12 years ago, and we didn't believe it either, because it seems like there's a catch, right? Like
Right.
there has to be something that you have to pay and wait to be reimbursed, or they won't cover everything that maybe you would cover for your own personal dog.
Right.
But 12 years later, I will say none of that, all my fears have never been met, because they have accounts at all these offices. They have such a wonderful reputation, and they take the utmost care. Things that you probably maybe wouldn't do for your own dog, like an extra cardiovascular check, an extra blood work exam, just to make sure everything was looking okay. We had a dog that had, our first Old Dog Haven dog had only one eye, and it was blind. But they had me take him to an eye specialist just to make sure that that eye wasn't painful. And they absorb that expense, and they just want to make sure that they're as comfortable as possible. And it's just unbelievable the amount of care they give these dogs. Like they don't go to great lengths. They won't do just drastic surgeries or, crazy things like that, but they will do anything to make them as comfortable as possible for as long as possible. And it's just so fulfilling to see these dogs blossom out of the shelter where they most likely would have met a demise that wasn't so great. Because it is a lot, dental work, heart issues,
Yes.
X, Y, and Z these dogs go into the shelter with, and you don't really know until you get them to your own vet and know what's really going on. The shelters are overpopulated. They're doing the best they can, but places like Old Dog Haven do give a little hope that we can alleviate some pressure on the shelter system.
Well, and I know I've talked to a few representatives from local animal groups over the past 10 years that I've been doing the show. And what I've heard from people is that whereas before Washington used to be a state where overcrowded shelters in the South, for example, could send pets to get homes, we are now overcrowded. There's a lack of spay and neutering. There are people turning in pets. There was the whole COVID thing where people adopted and then went back to work and didn't really take the commitment seriously. And so as a person who knows people who have considered fostering and so forth, how do you make the determination? I mean, there is a medical commitment. I know in the notes that I have here, you said that the costs for Old Dog Haven for the dogs that you have average over 150,000 per month. And so with no government funding, how does the organization sustain itself? And how do you make the difficult decision of which dogs to take in when multiple seniors are facing those deadlines at the shelter?
Yes, those are all wonderful questions that get asked a lot. Luckily, after beginning fostering for Old Dog Haven, I then joined the board. I served on the board for 5 years. And that was right around, well, right before COVID and then during COVID. And that was a common topic, not necessarily, but like, what if everything goes away tomorrow? Like, how do we maintain the care for the 250, 300 dogs that we will have in our program? And we are so blessed with the donors that we have. We have a lot of support, but it is a grassroots effort. I mean, we don't have government funding. We don't have big backers like Nordstrom or anything like that, Subaru. So I honestly believe everyone just loves an old dog. So we're pinching pennies every time, everyone's donating what they can, but it makes ends meet, and we're financially sound where if the and not to double back, but during COVID, the donations didn't stop. And that's what was our main concern. If something catastrophic happened, would the donations stop?
Right.
And I'm happy to report that they didn't. And so we were able to maintain what we were doing. But to make the call on to what dogs come and what dogs don't, it's just a heart wrencher, because it really does come down to the ones that we think need us the most, but also can handle the medical treatments that they potentially need.
Yes.
Shelter vets will give us a thorough, as much as they can, of what they think is going on. So it's like this guy is urgent. He needs to get out of here. He's shutting down in the shelter.
Yes.
That's our priority. And then we'll work on this, that, and the other. And a lot of it also comes down to people see a dog that they like that reminds them of a dog they had before or a breed they like. And so you never know who's going to be the winner. Sometimes these real cute ones come in, but nobody puts their hand up for quite a while. But eventually someone does, But yeah, it's heart-wrenching. Now that I'm on the staff, I see the back end of it, and it's tough because you just want to say, I'll do it, but that's not reasonable as well. I have 3 dogs. I can't really handle 4, 5, or 6. I mean, I think I could, but I don't know if my husband would agree with that.
I
But
understand.
if I can get rid of him, I could probably pack in another 10 dogs in here. But yes, it's a lot. Yeah, you want to make it reasonable, but then most of these dogs require at least something, eye medication, a pill, 2 pills, 3 pills a day, just to live comfortably. So we want to make it great for everyone. We don't want to overwhelm people either.
No, that's true. And I mean, having had dogs that became old because they lived longer lives, I've been through kidney treatments. I had cancer treatments, glaucoma, enucleation with the eye, just
Mhm.
different things. My last little guy that passed away, I still have 2 wonderful dogs, but I lost a little guy last year to cancer of the spleen. And so, I mean, I'm sure as you're looking at the animals that are there, you're thinking, okay, this dog maybe only has a month to live. Can we put him in an emergency situation? What about this one? Do they have a good prognosis, or are they desperate? And you're weighing all of those things. So how does it work? Do the shelters know to call you? How do you come in contact with the dogs that need Old Dog Haven?
Yes, we have wonderful relationships with the local area shelters that we work with. And, the shelter workers, I mean, God bless them. I don't know if I could ever do that job even working in the amount of rescue I do, it's so heart-wrenching. And so what they see every day, I mean, is unbelievable. And they'll reach out and kind of give a synopsis. This is what I see with this dog. This is what I think he'd be a good fit for you, for Old Dog Haven, because we only take in dogs 8 and over across the board. So they're like, he's 9, he's this, it was an owner surrender because of this. They kind of give you as much as they can to hope to give that dog a chance. And it's really, it's almost like a dating profile. Like, doesn't get along with cats, but great with other dogs, good with kids, not good with men, and
Right.
all these things.
That's right. It's so important. I mean, that's funny, the dating profile. I thought, well, some of those didn't work too well back in the day when I was doing that. But anyway, I had better luck with the animals. It seemed like whatever. And I have had
Right, of course.
little homes. I've had, a couple from just rescue organizations. I had one off the street back in the day. And yet, I will say, some of the dogs had a little bit of quirkiness, but they've all been wonderful. The two I have now, I swear, are angels on 4 feet, but you just really
Of
don't
course.
know. But they've all been wonderful. Now, one of the things that comes up, there people are like, okay, I want to help an older dog, but I know of people who've helped many older dogs, but they're like, okay, I might only have that dog 2 or 3 years, or maybe a year, and then we have to say goodbye. So, I mean, how do you support these foster families when there can often be a high frequency of loss with these animals? And we all know how animal people, we bond. I mean, we bond with these animals.
Yeah. Yes, I we have a younger dog who is also a rescue, but he goes to daycare his once a week, and the daycare owner was just asking me how we do it, and I said, it's a different mindset. It's more of one of, to me, and I think my husband feels the same, of we want to just give them all the things they never got. Like we
Yes.
want to, if it's a year, if it's a month, if it's our first guy that we had was Marvin, a little blind Pekingese that I still just adore to this day. We had him 4.5 years, and we filled those years up as much as we could. And our last one that passed away, Barley, was another one-eyed Pomeranian, or one-eyed dog, I guess. They say I'm the eye dog, but I don't know why that happens. I'm not looking for one-eyed dogs, but they send them my way. Um, we only had him 18 months, and we filled those up as much as we could with, trips to the beach, whatever he wanted to do. And it's so fulfilling for us to see them blossom and have fun and just be themselves. And like you said, like, it can be a motley crew, but once I think they've been faced with the downside of life, the rescue, the shelter system, and who knows what they're telling each other in there. But once they kind of get sprung from that situation, they're so appreciative, and they're just so happy to have a bed and a home
Yes.
and some treats. It's just the simplest act of love I think you could do.
And
And
it's so rewarding. It's so
and so rewarding. Yes, I wouldn't regret any of it. We're on our 11th Old Dog Haven dog. We've had some intermittent other rescues in the mix. But I just love them each so much. And the hardest ones for me have been the ones that haven't lasted so long,
right.
that were only with us. We had one for a month, we had one for 3 months.
Oh,
And that was harder than just because you couldn't do all the things you wanted to do. But it was still, I'm glad they were with us and in a safe place than scared or the alternative.
oh, that's so true, because the ability and the opportunity to give them something that they will feel that love. These creatures know, they understand.
They
And
do.
I mean, it's really a beautiful thing if you can handle it. And I always think I'm sort of an emotionally sappy person. I'm very empathetic. I cry a lot. I thought, I don't like the movies if the dog dies in the end of the
Oh,
day or
no.
whatever. But I'm so grateful that I've been able to love many animals. Now, your mission also mentions helping dogs without the judgment of the humans who left them. What? What makes that so critical to this rescue's success?
When we post a dog needing a new home or a dog that we want to bring into our program needing a foster, I guess the same thing, but um, people often want to criticize what that situation was, and by no fault of the dog themselves are they in this situation. And I don't want to believe that people are just tossing away dogs. I do believe it's a tough decision and circumstances have made it impossible for them to move forward with this dog, and they're trying to do what's best. They're reaching out to Old Dog Haven. We do have people, whose parents or relatives have passed away, and there's a dog that dog won't get along with their resident dog, and they feel terrible.
Hmm.
Or finances have changed, as we know, financial situations are harder, and they can't afford the surgeries and the things. We do our best to aid in whatever we can. But sometimes I just can't believe anyone who's ever had a dog is giving away that dog very lightly. And I
Well,
think that's our mindset, no judgment.
yeah, and I mean, honestly, now what's important is moving forward, not as much what's
Right.
went before, but moving ahead. So, as always, when I'm talking about things that matter like this, when I'm having a wonderful conversation, the time seems to go quickly. But I do want to ask you a couple more questions before we run out of time. So, um, first of all, you are celebrating your 20th anniversary, or you did celebrate your 20th anniversary in 2024. And so, has the perception of senior dogs and what that means, has that changed in the public eye since you started?
Gosh, I hope so. I mean, we do our best. We do so many events. We try to show that there's more to them than just, sleeping on the couch or sleeping in their bed. Like, we get every dog we had is out for an adventure, out for fun. They're up for anything. It's, as you said, so rewarding. Give them a chance. If people can foster dogs, this is a permanent foster situation. So it's similar in the fact that this is going to be forever. You can go and get a brand new lab puppy, but cancer may come or things may happen,
That's right.
and nobody's guaranteed anything, right?
No, no,
So,
that's right.
I hope the perception has changed. I wish it does. You having us on today, things like this helps us bring awareness to the cause because I think a lot of it is an instant heartache,
Yes,
preemptive heartache that isn't
yes.
there yet.
Well, and you're right. We don't
And
know. It's like with the person, a person
right.
may live to be 30 years old
Yeah.
or 102. But I mean, it's one of those things that we take that chance. And I was working with the pet loss support group on the online Zoom meeting last week. It was my turn to facilitate. And we had a person who lost a young dog because of an accident. And yeah, we had a person who lost an older one. So I mean, anything can happen. But now, and I also want to make sure I throw in here the website, which is olddoghaven.org. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so people can go there and learn more, but let's say that people are listening and they maybe can't foster. Maybe they, like you, already have some dogs, but they love your mission. What are the best ways that people can support you? And then do you have any events coming up in the next couple of months that people would want to know about?
Yes, I mean, go to that website, olddoghaven.org. You can donate your vehicle if you have an old vehicle. There's many ways to support. You can volunteer. We have two big summer events coming up, Pups on Parade. One is July 11th in Shoreline at Cromwell Park, and the other is August 1st in Lacey at Woodland Creek Community Park, a mouthful there. But these are our big summer events, and they're more for outreach and just to share our love for what we do. Come and have fun. Come and see these senior dogs. They'll be all around. We have a costume contest. We're having the best smile
Ah,
contest, which is underbite, overbite. We'll have oldest in attendance will win an award. Oldest dog, of course. We have lick art. We just have so many fun things. It's just the best day ever. And you get to just really embrace what we do. And we'll have food trucks and music and all sorts of things. So just come and enjoy. You can find more information on the website, olddoghaven.org. And yes, and I think once you see these dogs in their element, you'll want to jump on board.
I think it's wonderful. Dawn, I'm so glad that you could join us and bring us up to speed on what's going on with your organization. And um, I just have such a heart for all of the animals, and I know that most of the people who have animals feel the same way. So again, olddoghaven.org is the website. You can find out more about volunteering, about donations, about attending the events, just to have a wonderful day. And you can, take a little deeper dive into some of the topics we talked about. So we will have you back again. Maybe we'll want to catch up after the events and kind of see how things went.
That would be wonderful. We'd love it.
Okay, terrific. We've been talking with Dawn Ford from Old Dog Haven. I'm Marilyn Milano, your host of Love Has Many Faces here on Alternative Talk 1150. We will take a very short pause and be right back. Hi, this is Marilyn Milano, your host of Love Has Many Faces. The music that you're hearing during this show every week is exclusively original music from my own CDs. If you're enjoying it and would like to order a copy of one of my 2 CDs for yourself or as a gift, just go to marilynmilano.net and you can order directly from the website. I give a portion of every sale back to Animal Rescue because that's part of the whole cause. Thank you for listening and thanks for your support.
You found us. Maybe you've been guided to listen. Alternative Talk 1150.
Well, welcome back to Love Has Many Faces. What a wonderful conversation. First time on for our guest, Dawn Ford. We have had Old Dog Haven on before, but this is the first time Dawn has joined us. And so good to hear about what is going on there. Again, the website, olddoghaven.org. They have events coming up this summer, which is fantastic. One in the North End and Shoreline, one down in Lacey. And you can learn more about those events, or just if this touches your heart, more ways that you can help, volunteering, making a donation, just spreading the word. And such a worthwhile cause. I'm so glad that they're here. The other thing I want to just remind you is that we are on the air on Tuesday mornings from 9 to 9:30, and that's Pacific time. And again, the podcasts, wherever you find your podcast, type in Love Has Many Faces podcast, and you will find us. We are here to raise awareness, touch hearts, and save the lives of animals. And in doing that, we are helping their people too. So thank you so very much for joining us for our show today. Until next time, Marilyn Milano here on Alternative Talk 1150. You have been listening to Love Has Many Faces.